Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel XAT Turning Problems into Solutions. This is me Priyasha and today in this video we'll be discussing some advanced level questions on para summary. If you want to practice more such questions on para summary and related verbal ability topics, then you can surely check the link in the description box, which will take you to my Unacademy's profile where I conduct live free sessions on all of this absolutely free. I come live at 1:30 p.m. every day, so you can join me over there. What you just need is an Unacademy app and a sign up code of Priyasha 10 to access all my videos and my live classes absolutely free. And with this, I would also like to tell you about the Unacademy's Learning Festival. So you might not be one of the aspirants for NEET UG or IIT JEE, but anyone in your acquaintances might be one of them. So for them, it's a golden opportunity, and I literally want all of you to pass on this message and this video link to those people who are preparing for either the NEET UG or for the IIT JEE or are in class 8 to class 12, because under this learning festival they would be getting access to the world class education provided by the top educators at Unacademy, along with the CBSE board preparation and 24/7 doubt solving, absolutely at a very amazing affordable price of 299. And to top all of this, if they use my code Priyasha10 and the link in the description box, then they would be getting all of this at a reduced rate of just 239 rupees. That's 20% flat off on an already lesser price. With this, they will get access to exclusive mentorship as well, where each mentor will take care of a student and their preparation. So all of this for 45 days would be provided at such a lesser cost. So you should not miss out on this opportunity and quickly ask your loved ones to enroll into it and take a flavor of the world-class education provided by Unacademy. And now let's get our video started. Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth session of the para summaries where we are discussing some advanced questions. So far if you haven't seen my previous videos on para summary, then I'll strongly suggest you to see that, so that you will get some access to the PDFs also, the questions, and also the process of doing these questions accurately and faster. And just to tell you in brief that the advanced questions are not the questions which are lengthy or verbose or have too high vocab words in it, but it is called advanced because the level of interpretation required in these questions or in these paragraphs is comparatively a little more than what we have been doing in the questions under easy and moderate section. And the second thing which makes it an advanced question is not again the length or something like that, but the very closeness of the options given to you. So when the options lie very close to each other, that makes a question an advanced level question. Why am I discussing all this with you? Because if you have seen the thumbnail already, you know, you have been seeing it for long now, that I've been mentioning that it is the mock creators insights which I am giving you. And why am I providing you these insights? Because these insights in turn will help you to understand how the questions are made, what are the points which we keep in mind while making the questions, so that you get to know what a person is seeking for. And when you understand what the other person or the examiner is seeking for, you will only pinpoint or focus on that area and get your answers not only accurate but also faster instead of beating the bush. So therefore, let's get started with the first question and see how we'll get the answer. And yes, just to remind you, in case you want to solve all these questions by yourself first and then compare your answers with mine, you can check out the description box for the PDF and do it all by yourself. And then come back to this video and do the look at the answers and the process of doing it. So the first one says, virtually no job comes without stress, whether it's meeting the expectations and the deadlines of the co-workers, clients, or the supervisors. Nearly all the work can be challenging at times, okay? Sometimes the work itself isn't as challenging as managing the relationships with the people we work with. Emotional labor. Focus. Emotional labor involves managing our emotions to meet our job expectations. What is the definition given to us? That managing our emotions to meet our job expectations. For example, the retail clerks are expected to be upbeat and enthusiastic about the merchandise and in general, even if that is not truly how they feel. Emotional labor is also a part, additional point, a part of dealing with the personalities of those we work with. This labor is not necessarily always stressful. Asking a co-worker about a sick relative may be a way to convey your concern about their family without taking much of an emotional toll. But in other cases, but is a change of idea. But in other cases, emotional labor can be very stressful, and this stress can be minimized or magnified based on one's status. So, with all of this, what do we understand? We are talking about our emotional relationships and our expectation, like our relation with our colleagues, and at the same time the work. So the first option, let's read it. Emotional labor is the primary contributor of stress. Did we actually mention it to be the primary contributor? Not really. We were saying that work in itself is challenging, but in some cases we see that even the emotional labor can be stressful. Look at the last line carefully, guys. Can be stressful, not is stressful or is the primary contributor or major contributor of stress. So two words in option A and option B, that is primary contributor and major contributor, helps me to eliminate these two options. Look at the skill being used. Just by using a single word, I am eliminating this out. Now, moving to the third option. Emotional labor is a contributory factor to the stress experienced at the workplaces, and it needs to be understood in order to establish its effect. Okay. The first part seems absolutely correct. That is one of the contributory factors at workplaces. But the second part says that it needs to be understood why, to in order to establish its effect. Whose effect? Emotional labor's effect or impact. So were we anywhere talking in the passage about the impact of the emotional labor upon us? No, it's just the stress we were talking about in relation to the EL, that's emotional labor. So let's read the fourth one and confirm our answer. Emotional labor plays a role in the stress experienced at the workplaces. The first part of option C and option D are very close and absolutely same, I can say. And it has an impact on the person's job efficacy. Really, yes. Now, this is a perfect summarizing sentence for me because I can find all the ideas depicted by the author in this one line, where I can see that we are talking about emotional labor. Yes. We are talking about stress experienced. Yes. We are talking about how it affects our work, how it can be stressful, it cannot be stressful. Everything is mentioned in option D, and so I'll go with my answer as option D for the first question. Similarly, let's move to the second question. In the second question, we see now this one is something which most of the people will call advanced. Why? Because it is not only having close options, but is also a lengthy passage and a little difficult one to interpret. Of course, if someone is interested in the stock markets can find this paragraph really interesting. But for those who rarely read about markets and their investments, would find this a little boring. So whether you find it boring or not, you have to solve it. So let's do that. Developing a strong executive leadership culture is not a short-term effort. So we are talking about executive leadership culture. It isn't based on one person. It almost never deteriorates quickly. Yet markets continually overact to minor blips on the long-term success of the companies. Oh, they okay. I think this is mainly due to a failure to appreciate the systems and a failure to appreciate the variation along with the plenty of other contributing factors. Now, please read it from here. The market's weakness does provide investment opportunities. This is something we must be knowing after watching the scam of 1992 for sure. The market's weakness does provide investment opportunities. Through taking advantages of them is much more difficult than spotting a general weakness. While excellent management almost never becomes pitiful overnight, regardless of how often talking heads would have you believe, business can change very quickly. Why? The reason is mentioned very quickly due to rapidly changing market conditions. Avoiding the purchases when the underlying business has a sustained significant blow that excellent management will deal with, but with which reduce the value of the enterprise goes forward, is the key to take the advantage of the market's silly overreaction to the bad news. Why is it silly overreaction? Bad news means suppose the market is going down, so people start reacting, you know, in a very stupid manner. They will sell something, they will, miss out on, because see, it is a general trend, like something was rupees 100 and it fell down to rupees 80. So people will be afraid now that I won't want to do any more loss of mine, so I'll take out my money at 80 only. I'm okay with 20 rupees of loss. But the intelligent people will take the advantage of this overreaction by the other silly people there and would sustain, so that they believe that the management of a particular company will definitely make sure that they are going up high again. So they will have patience. So that is what this passage is already talking about. Fine. Now what we need to do is figure out the summary based on the interpretation we found. What I told you at the end, that 100 rupees, 80 rupees, people coming out of the market and people staying back, believing in the management of the companies which are falling down. So this is the interpretation I got from the passage, and these type of passages need that, because they are, you can call it either very lengthy verbose, or you can also say that this is something not really read. So let's see the option A. Generally, markets overreact to even the minor bad news, and if you let this affect your investment decisions, this can have ruinous impact on your market dealings. Now, tell me honestly, did we ever read this? Not really. We did not talk about our ruinous impacts upon us. So, because we were not talking about this, we are not bothered about this. Okay, and majorly here the central subject is also not identifying the opportunity to invest, but how the market dealings can be ruined. So this is a wrong answer for us. Second option, option B. This option B talks about the wise investors. Okay, if you read it, being driven by the market sentiment when it comes to investment is something that is done by the wise investors, who rather focus on the management ability of the company and how that can have a positive impact even in the tough business conditions. So this is talking about the wise investors, a subject which is already missing from the paragraph. We never actually had a definition of wise investors anywhere. So that's why this also goes. Now the third option, sentiment driven investments based on the market reactions generally overlook the management strengths of the companies and adopt a very myopic vision of the scenario, focusing on the short term rather on the long term. Now this sentiment driven investment is now the subject of my entire paragraph. If I see the summary, the first sentence, sentiment driven investment, becomes the subject, which is not present in the passage. So that's why we will eliminate this as well. Now let's read the last one. The market's overreaction to the bad news is actually an investment opportunity. Yes, because prices go down, and that's the best investment opportunity and not a handicap. And if one can focus on the core strengths of the company, such as the skillful management, and understand the business scenario, there is a definite chance to make significantly correct investment decisions. So the entire paragraph was about this only, where we decided to talk about the overreaction of the people, the investment opportunities, and why will the person sustain, because they believe in the core strengths of the company, and this can make them their decisions correct. So all of this was mentioned in option D. So we'll go with option D as our answer. And with this, we have completed the video for today. We have completed the advanced, moderate, easy to moderate, and easy type of questions for the para summary. With all of this, if you want to practice more with me, then you can surely join my free live classes at Unacademy. I come live at 1:30 p.m. every day. So you can check the link in the description box and enroll yourself for the upcoming free class, absolutely free. You can also follow my profile at Unacademy, and you will be getting notified of every time I come live and the topics I'm going to come live upon. So with this, If you like this video, then please like this video, share it with more and more people, share it among all your WhatsApp, Telegram, or whatever groups you have. And yes, if you are new to this channel, then please do subscribe to the channel. I upload almost daily and try to give you value content absolutely free. So with this, I would wind up this video and thank you all for watching it. Please take care.